With Undertale being a fairly easy game, what if I did the hardest route and made it even harder by permanently losing 1 HP every battle? If you somehow don't know what Undertale is, first of all, why are you even watching this? But basically, it's a game where you fall into the underground where monsters try to kill you, and you can either try to make friends with those monsters or completely obliterate them. Even though killing everything increases your level, it's actually the harder route due to two very annoying bosses. And on top of that, you have to go through a lot of encounters. So if you've been following with the challenges, you can see where this is going. But one rule I made was that if a monster doesn't attack me, for example the dummy, then I won't be counting it as a battle. You might think this would just make the game easier, and you would be right. However, this rule barely changed anything in the end anyway, so it didn't matter too much. After this progress or HP lowered to 19, and if I pointed out every time my HP lowered, this video will get super repetitive, so instead, pop quiz. If the ruins require 20 monsters to be killed for the Genocide route, how much HP will it be at by the end? A. 0, B. 7, C. 15, D. 26, or E. 33? Time's up. The answer is D, and let me tell you why. Although the ruins requires 20 monsters, that doesn't mean that I have to do 20 battles. In certain places, we can get 2 or even 3 monsters in one battle. And although I was an idiot and fought an absolute for no reason, we did not lose more than 20 HP. And in case you're wondering how I got to 26 HP, we get plus 4 health after every level up. And by the end of the ruins, we reach level 6, so you can do the math. After the ruins is Snowden, where we need 16 monsters to be killed, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but there's also mandatory battles that don't count towards the slaughtered enemies. I think it's safe to say that this area was by far the most annoying, and it's all because of one character. Jerry is the most annoying enemy you can encounter. It has one of the highest defense values in the game, only being 2 points short of one of the strongest bosses, which we'll get into later. And I know you can just spare Jerry and still be on the Genocide run, but then I lose out on one monster, which also means minus 1 HP. So to keep my stats as high as we can, I tediously spent like 12 turns killing each Jerry, which was a lot since it's guaranteed in the room I was grinding in. But on the plus side, this room also assures that every encounter will have at least 2 monsters. Was it really worth it though? Like, I know skipping the Jerry's nets less health later in the game, but Jerry also only gives 1 XP on kill, so we lose out on an entire level up. I really didn't expect to spend that long on Jerry, so let's get back to the actual game. We are blocked by Papyrus at the end of Stone Town, but he doesn't actually attack you on the Genocide route, so it doesn't count as a battle. But with him left to nothing but dust on the ground, we can proceed to Waterfall, where we need to kill 18 monsters. And something about Waterfall is that you don't really have to spend 20 minutes grinding. You can just play through it normally and only have a couple encounters left by the end. Despite that, Waterfall helped us a lot with this run. Not only did we get the Tutu and Belay Shoes being the best weapon and armor to use for a while, we also played a piano, killed a smiling dummy, and was accompanied by a child who we let follow us for some reason. But not long after, we can finally corner the child on a narrow bridge, and fail to kill him due to Undyne's interference. It was time for one of the hardest bosses in the entirety of Undertale. After being defeated in one hit, Undyne's determination kicked in and gave her an extreme power boost. Although I only had 17 HP for this battle, it went better than you would think. I'm really good at Undyne, so even if I was nerfed to shit, it didn't really affect me. And it only got hit once on the one attack with the most stupid hitbox in the entire game. Okay, that damage was completely on me though. With Undyne down, there was only one area left. Hotland. And the core. This area is really just speedrun straight to the core to grind the ludicrous 40 monsters, but hey, at least most battles have 2 to 3 of them. My health was getting pretty low, but Minatonia will increase it by 16 once we're done with the core, so the only way I would be in serious trouble would be if I died. Awesome! Luckily, that was the only time I was defeated by random encounters, and the only obstacle left is Sans, the most brutal boss in Undertale. Now let me just point out that you're meant to have 92 HP for this fight. We have about a quarter of that, but on the first attempt, I made it to the final attack with only a few difficulties. If I just survived this then, losing the Sans meant minus 1 HP for the next attempt, because even though we didn't win, it's still a battle. So if I died again, it would just make the next attempt even harder. I'm usually pretty good at Sans, but after not playing Genocide for months, I wasn't prepared at all. I did have a ton of healing items, don't get me wrong, but that only matters if I survive the attacks. And with my health this low, it was very easy to die during the longer attacks. The best example being the final one, where I died twice in a row. I thought this would be the only attack I died to, but boy was I wrong. Did I jump too early or something? I looked away for a split second. Once my HP dropped below 20, I was starting to get nervous. You might have thought that if I were to ever go below 1 HP, it wouldn't count. But no, if I go below 1 HP, then the entire run is over. Luckily we didn't come close to that fate when grinding monsters, but now we're at the final enemy. There is no turning back, and each death just brought me closer and closer to failure. But my determination shined brighter than Undyne's, and on the 11th attempt, I was finally able to survive the last attack, and my game crashed.